This is big news. NASA launching a new chapter in space exploration with the Artemis 1 mission.
Yes, the first phase of a new era for NASA. They're going to pave the way for humans to return to the moon and eventually go to Mars. Joining us live to talk about this historic mission, NASA astronaut Anne McClain.
Anne, good morning to you. This is very exciting. We were just talking about this with you. This is the beginning of many more big things to come. What can you tell us about Artemis 1?
Absolutely. Monday is going to be a huge day, 8:33 Eastern time in the morning. We can watch the Artemis 1 uncrewed test flight. And as you said, this is the beginning of a long Artemis campaign to establish a sustainable human presence on the surface of the moon. This particular mission is the first of an increasingly set of complex missions. You're going to see them numbered Artemis 1, 2, 3, 4. So Artemis 1 is the uncrewed test flight. Artemis 2 is the crewed test flight, and Artemis 3, no earlier than about 2025, will put humans back on the surface of the moon.
All right, so I'd asked you during the break when we were first talking if you were going to go. You said there's a pool of candidates. When will we know who gets to go?
That's right. If we stay on time, we'll probably be naming the actual crews by the end of the year. But we've actually been training. So there's 43 active astronauts right now. We've all been training for these missions. It's an amazing pool of people to even be lucky enough to be part of, and any one of those can do the missions. So we've been training on helicopters, in swimming pools, in suits, in jets. Geology training, figuring out what's an interesting rock and what's a boring rock. So we are ready.
And I understand this is going to be like a permanent moon base that can serve sort of as a stepping stone to visiting Mars later on. How close now are we going to be to the moon?
Yeah, so these missions are so complex. And every time we do one of these missions, we find out more questions that we should be asking to get there. But if you're going to go climb Mount Everest, you're going to set the tent up in your backyard first. You're going to test all your systems, and that's what we're really doing here. But our backyard is 250,000 miles away. These moon missions are very, very complex. And the Apollo era, they really set the foundation of knowledge for us, but we have so much more to learn on the surface of the moon.
I would imagine you all are a very close knit group, that group of 43, but I'll bet there's a lot of competition in that group too, isn't there?
Surprisingly, there's not. It isn't a phenomenal group, and all of us would just bend over backwards to make somebody else successful in the group. Sorry to disappoint that there's not too much competition. Just the fact that we are lucky enough to be part of that, and you go, gosh, it's either going to be me or it's going to be one of my best friends, and either one of those was beyond my wildest dreams from when I was a kid. So it's a really fun group to be in.
Oh, how cool.
It's pretty amazing stuff. Thank you so much for waking up with us this morning and giving us some great info.